The hottest footy days in 50 years, and the players showed it as they trooped off Victoria Park today. Collingwood and Melbourne tend to put together torrid affairs whenever they meet, but today's 33.8 degree maximum did little to cool things. Not more than 2 points separated the teams at the first three changes, and coach Bobby Rose was thrilled with his Magpies fight back, as he told Peter Landy.
Yes, it was a pretty tight game, Pete. We seemed to be trailing all day. We had a chance, I thought, in the third quarter to go to a reasonable break, but we missed, once we were 10 points in front, we missed two easy, in my opinion, easy goals. That would have given us a nice lead at three-quarter time, but we just couldn't get on top of them.
I know as a coach you never expect easy games, but were you surprised by Melbourne's aggression? You couldn't shake them off, could you, all day?
No, their performance didn't surprise me, but I was disappointed with our form. I was worried Thursday night we didn't train with zest, and our fumbling and just our lack of running, and that's been one of our strengths. I thought was very bad today.
Despite some fierce clashes with fullback Danny Hughes, Collingwood's Brian Taylor continued his consistent form. For the third week in a row, he booted 7 goals.
Yeah, not today, Peter. I was pretty disappointed with today. The goals I got were given to me and I didn't really earn them. So, I dropped a lot of easy marks and I did a few silly things. So I wasn't that happy with today's performance, although I got 7 goals. But they were mainly due to the players upfield.
When you say a few silly things, there seem to be a few heated exchanges between yourself and Hughes.
Yeah, well, that's all just part of the game, Peter. Those things happen all the time and we sorted it out later on.
Welcome to The Magnet. We made it to episode 2. Can you believe it? I can't. Welcome to the Hairy Chef.
Thanks very much. Nice to be here. I didn't think we'd make it again. I thought it'd be one show wonder, but somehow we've survived.
We've survived.
Number 3 could be a stretch. So
we'll see how we go. Again, thank you to Major Tom tonight for their video live streaming podcasts, editing, marketing, all your social media for businesses and influencers. Get on to Major Tom. Just give him a call. Look, tonight's show couldn't be possible without 2 sponsors tonight. We really thank them. We really like some other sponsors to get on board and sponsor a show for us, but we'd really like to thank Pumpkin Blinds and Ramps. Look, if it's time for new blinds or you've got to replace the old ones, or you're building a new house and you need new blinds, get on to Pumpkin. Also, for all the kids out there, or a unique present, why not get a pumpkin ramp? I think it makes sense to me. And we'd also like to thank KLM Spatial. Flacky was so impressed with the show last week, he decided to also part sponsor the show tonight. So thanks, Flacky. They're your property specialists. They do everything. So if you're thinking about subdividing in tough economic times, and it's a great way to go down, get on to Flacky. They're also available for all your new property needs. So if you're building, everything from council permits, the whole bit, contract management, they look after all that. So get on to them, get on to Flacky. The number there for them is 97941600, or their website looks like it's manager at klms.com.au is their email there. And also for Pumpkin Blinds, give Pumpkin a call on 0408 000 974 and he'll be able to help you out with all your blinds and your ramp needs. So over to you, Harry Chef.
Well, just on that, I went around to see Dave from Pumpkin's Blinds today and had a bit of a chat with him, and he's kindly give us a keyring each.
Oh, sensational.
It's not only just the keyring, it's one of those, there you go, Codge. It's, when you go to Woolworths or whatever and you haven't got any cash and you've got to get the trolley out and you feel like a tight ass, you don't carry cash. Well, we've gone under that, you know what I mean? We're doing it for the little bloke. So appreciate that, Pumpkin.
Thanks, Pumpkin. Would I get a can of Coke out of that if I tried to put that in the machine? Or what out of pokey? Put it in the pokies?
Try as hard as you want. So there you go.
I believe we've got a message from Josh Bull. He dropped in today to give a special message for the players, and I'm hoping we're going to hear that right now. So we'll play that for you, are we? We're waiting for the Codge to get that organised.
Just a quick update. Josh popped in, just a little quick update on the situation with the players at the moment. So.
Yep, we'll get that going. Here we go.
Ready to go. G'day everyone, Bully here. Just a quick update from me in regards to this year's footy season. Not a lot has changed since we had a chat last week. waiting on the 11th next week to hopefully get a bit more clarity around the season, so we'll be in touch then. Just a quick shout out to my mum Tracy, happy Mother's Day mum, and also to all the other mothers out there, a very happy Mother's Day. Extending those Mother's Day wishes to the women out there that are struggling or are unable to have a family. I think you guys are really, really strong. So happy Mother's Day, and I'll speak to all you guys soon. Cheers.
It's fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much for that message, and I hope all the players saw that tonight. Just a quick overview of the show tonight. We're going to do a call to development coach Adam Hamilton, so we'll ask him a few questions about the upcoming season, etc., where he's come from, and tell us a little bit about himself. We're going to share a demon tale again. Everyone get nervous. There's plenty of names on the board tonight. I'm looking straight at it at the moment. There's plenty of names on there, so we'll give that a spin later. We've got a best 22 week 2. So, and look, there's been some really good interest in this. So, looks like we've got a few more to come, which is fantastic. This week it's come from Bearbum. Thanks, Bearsy, for sending that through. If anyone has any, you can send it through to Jason at majortommedia.com or Grant Reynolds at Telstra.com, and we'll add that to our list. We'll go through it, and we'll be taking some questions from the audience along the way. So send through any questions, any Cheerios. Want to say happy Mother's Day to your mum? We'll try and fit them all in. Be good. We've got a new segment tonight. We're doing Dave's Joke of the Week, which will be sensational. And
it could be sensational. Could be the end of the whole story. You know what I mean? So I gave Dave the rundown of what we need to do, and it could be interesting. So we'll just see. We haven't got a buzzer. We haven't got a 5 second. We can't block him out. So. Be nice, Dave. Do the right thing, guys.
Do we need to give a language warning, do we, before the joke and tell the young ones to go to bed?
It just might be funny. You know what I mean? It might be an average joke. So.
And then we've got the Hairy Chef rant, which will be interesting. It's
actually it'll be a different rant this time because it's funny. I've been angry for most of my life, and I've got an opinion on everything, and I'm pretty passionate. So hang in for it and see how it goes.
Again, we'd like to thank Pumpkin Blinds and Pumpkin Ramps. Give Pumpkin a call, 0408 000 974. Are we ready for our first guest? I guess we are.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope we get the right number this week.
Let's get him on board. Yeah. How were we going last week?
We copped a bit of stick last week.
We did indeed.
I reckon if we get the wrong number, we'll just interview the person who answers anyway. You know what I mean? See how we go.
Yep. Let's see how we go. We'll give him a call. The ground's looking sensational again tonight. We've got the full moon up there.
That's magnificent, isn't it?
It is.
What I mean? It's just we can't actually go there.
Just coming with that, you told me there was 2 moon boys that played here. We had Juddy Foot, who was called the Moon.
Hey, mate, we've got some,
a couple of moons, yeah. There's all 3 individual characters, the 2 Moon brothers. I'm not exactly sure how you'd explain to them. They're mad as adders, you know what I mean? Paul and Darren.
Yep.
They're basically identical twins.
Yep.
And they probably don't know, I've never been able to pick the difference between them in 25 years.
Oh, wow.
So I never call them their first name. I just go with the flow.
Yep.
And if you've ever had the luck or the luxury of having a conversation with them,
yep,
you'll know they're 2 peas in their pod. They're very funny and strange men, you know what I mean? But they're really great blokes. The other Moon, just one of the nicest person I've ever met, young Justin. So, a few moons. And when the full moon comes out, it goes a little bit crazy. You know what I mean?
Very funny. All right, we're just giving ads.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, how you going? It's the Gov here.
Good.
We're
how are we?
Good, mate. We're calling from the Magnet tonight. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. We've got a few questions we'd like to go through.
Yeah, no worries.
Go for it, Chef.
Righto. How are you, Ads? How you going?
Well, mate, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. So, I suppose the first question we've got for is isolation. How are you dealing with it? What's going on? What have you been doing? How are you keeping sane? What's happening in your end of the world through isolation?
And also, tell us a bit about yourself, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, isolation, I haven't really been into isolation. Karen, my wife, and myself, we've been pretty much lucky. We've been essential workers, so we've had to work every day, so we're not really stuck at home. But Poor old Locke, he's stuck at home doing homeschooling and no footy, so he's getting a bit stressed. He's eating all the food, but lucky enough, he works on a Wednesday with Jesse Odell and Greenie, so that saves a bit of me food. But other than that, yeah, we're still working as normal. Like, we haven't been isolated, so it's been pretty good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And tell us a bit about yourself, mate. Where you've come from. Have you coached before, and your playing days, and what you do for a crust and family and stuff like that? I know you, of course, from the KLM Cowboys, but
the Cowboys, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I'm a footy trader just like anyone else. Played a lot of my senior footy in Tassie. It was actually Walsh's old man that got me over to Victoria to play for Dingley for a couple of years, and then after that, I moved on I went to Narrabri and played in the Tamworth League, chasing the money like everyone does. And after that, I retired. Then come back to Melbourne. Went to training with the KLM Cowboys, where Heath Levy got me across, and I played there for 9 years, and sort of finished up about 2-3 years ago. Coaching-wise, I've only really coached juniors. I've helped out with some seniors in the background. I haven't really coached as such. Last year was my first year. It was actually Darren Reynolds, your brother, that got me across to actually have a go at the coaching, which I've actually enjoyed. So, but yeah, that's about it. Mainly juniors.
Okay.
So what adds? Can you tell us a little bit more about your assistant coaches you have on board this year? Who you got around you to help you out?
Yeah, no worries. I got a guy I played a fair bit of Cowboys football with. He's been involved a lot with junior level. He's been real good with the younger guys. That's why I got him across. He's pretty straightforward. That's with Lacey. As Gov knows, he's a straight shooter. He doesn't hold back. And a lot of the younger guys, I find, tend to like that, a bit of direction, told exactly where they want to be. So that's why I thought Rick across. I think it'd be good for our younger guys, our development with the younger guys. He's actually currently working in Canberra at the minute, so we're sort of lucky that the isolation come in, because by the time he comes back to play, he'll be back from Canberra and we'll be right to go again. The other one I got across is Cam Cooper. He's come across from Devon Meadows. I've played a lot of cricket with Cam. He was actually involved in Devon Meadows last year behind the scenes, like on the committee side. He was going to actually have a go at coaching. They want him to coach the reserves. So I think he was going to be involved this year, but I managed to talk him into coming across to help us out with his young fella, Corey, who's helping Mon out as a trainer. So that was a big get to get a young fella of his stature to come and help do the training side of it, because it's hard enough as it is to get people to come get trainers, let alone younger guys.
Absolutely.
And also, he's a great family. There's a whole lot of them. His wife, Denise, young Kaylin, once they get involved in the club, they tend to really all get involved in the club. So that's the type of people we want to sort of get around the club this year. So, yeah, he was actually a handy get.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. I'm sure they're both great leaders of young men. That's great. Look, I write the questions here, so I always write the hard questions, and I'll give the hairy chef the dumb ones, so it makes me look really smart.
If anyone picked it up, I missed the first two. I got the first wrong, but you know what I mean? I don't do any homework, you know what I mean? Sorry about that.
I'm looking at the next question thinking, why did I write this? But anyway, here we go.
It's a long one.
It is a long one, and it's my analogy. It's an analogy of how I see a reserves team or a development team. And you can totally disagree with this, but this is when I was growing up as I sort of found it, and it was looking at the team, it was really split for me. It was split into three groups. There were your long-term players that were just happy playing reserves football. They're happy to turn up, keep fit, be part of a club, be part of a team, be really good team men, and they're there every week. They're your solid group that you have in the side. And then you've got your senior players that are dropping back either from injury or form or suspension. And then you've got your young kids who you really just want to, get as many games in as you can. So I guess my question is, I think you've got the toughest job in the club, because each week you've got this changing landscape, and the three divisions change every week. I just wanted to know your how you see that actually, and how you're going to handle that going forward.
Look, on that question, I actually totally agree with you. It is a development squad where you've got seniors, you've got a mixture of seniors, younger players that are learning the game, and then you've got guys that just show up just to play the game of footy on the Saturday. I look at it as is the senior guys that are pushing for selection. We're lucky enough this year to have those senior guys that will be playing reserves that can push. We weren't in that position last year. So we're also lucky enough to have a lot of guys that'll probably, we're hoping will be younger guys that'll be here for 4, 5, 6 years, not just 1 year, that can learn off these senior guys. And I suppose that's my job as a reserves or development coach and such, to get the mix right so it teaches these younger guys. So we've got them for 4, 5, 6 years. But then you've also got the guys that just turn up on a Saturday just to play footy in the mix as well. So you've got to try and make it an even balance. So you don't upset those guys and also upset the guys that are the senior guys that are actually trying to push for senior selection as well. So it is a tough gig, but at the end of the day, it's something you've got to get used to, and you try and work around. Most of 9 out of 10 times it works. Just have a good chat to all the guys and tell them what the situation is. Enjoy your footy. That's the end of the day. That's all you can do. It's up to them then to try and work together as a team.
Well said, mate. Well said. That's probably the toughest gig in footy has been a twos coach, because on Thursday night, just 5 minutes before selection, you've got 22 players, and 5 minutes after selection, you've got 16 players. So, good luck to you, mate, and I wish you all the best. So, I got one question too, and it's obviously I've got the simple questions. You can see because I can actually read them. So, give us an insight into the current list and players you're looking forward to see this year when we get on the park.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that was a good one. Look, this year, Waitsy, well, one thing I will do, I'll give a big pat on the back to Waitsy. Like, he's behind the scenes. No one sees him. Everyone sees or hears about Adam or Josh, and that's pretty much about it. But Waitsy's the big one behind the scenes that really needs a pat on the back for actually landing Josh, because I think getting Josh to the club is a massive coup for us.
Huge.
It's massive. It's like anyone could have picked him up in the Mornington Peninsula, but to come across and give us a crack at it first, I think it's a massive coup for the Chelsea Heights Football Club. Having been under Josh just a short time I have been, just his professionalism and just the way he goes about things, I've learned so much in that short time already, and it's just unbelievable. I can see why people follow him, why players follow him, why they want to play for him. He's just one of them born leaders. That's how I see it as. We sort of looked at, when me and Swayze sat down and spoke about this before Bully had even come along, we sort of wanted to target younger kids. So we've got the 5, 6-year players, and we can put the Heights back to where they used to be. So you can keep building and building. So when the older boys sort of fall away, go off to retire or play Super Rules, whatever they're going to do, we've still got those younger guys that can learn off them and develop into those type of players and keep the club moving forward. That's what our main role. That's what we wanted to do. And then, like I said, the biggest thing was getting Bully. So once we got that, we sort of, the ball just started rolling and we started getting the players we sort of had on our list that we're after. Players I really want to see this year. That's a good question as well, because there's that many of them, like the younger guys, like the Joel Tiggs, the Vince, Josh Herman, those type of guys, I reckon are really going to have good seasons this year under Bully. I reckon he'll get the best out of them. A couple of guys, the ones I reckon are really will take the Southern Footy League by storm. I think they'll get a shot by these guys, and that's Ripper. Joel Rippingale, I reckon he's going to absolutely surprise an absolute shitload this year because of the fact that he's a small mid half forward. So when he goes in the midfield, I think you'll find that a lot of sides won't know much about him. That he's quick, he's fit, beautiful skills. He's the type of guy where he's hard at it for a little fella. I think he's a ripper. The 2 practice matches I've seen him play, I've just gone straight out and thought this guy is going to tear this competition apart because no one knows much about him, and they'll be too worried about the Gilders, the Robbos, the Geordies, all those type of guys that even think about Joel, and I think he'll just take the game apart. I think he's going to be a surprise packet for Bully there. And the other one I like in the ones he's going to be a bit of X factor. That's Jake O'Neill up forward. I think he's just got X factor to him, just the way he moves about in the forward line. So I think he's going to be a good one to watch as well. But in the twos, I've got 2 guys in the twos. I'm really impressed. I can't wait to see play, and that's Caro. Because he's not getting Ryan Carrison. He's not going to have the pressure on him this year he had last year.
Yep.
So I'm thinking he has to carry the side because we really didn't have the quality of players that we hoped to have in that side. So I think he's a good smooth mover, great pace, poise. His skills are beautiful. I think he's going to have a good year this year. And I reckon alongside Tim O'Shaughnessy, who's pretty much the same player as what Caro is. Those two, I think, in the twos are really going to, I reckon they'll be pushing for one. So that's how I see it. Our season's going to be pounded out, yeah.
Well, thanks for that insight. I'll give a plug to my nephew, Connor.
Connor.
I think he's a great developing player, being an ex-basketballer, and he's got the gadget arms, and he's a fantastic run-with player. So I'd really like him to get into, some sort of tagging role. I think he'd do really well.
There's a bit of DNA in, isn't there?
He's really improved this year at the pre-season. And one thing I did notice, and I was quite impressed with, was the way Gary Carpenter, when he comes to the club, he wasn't scared to go and take guys like Connor into his group and say, let's do it this way, and teach those guys. And Connor's come a long way just from doing stuff like that. Like in the practice match, there's stuff there he wouldn't have even attempted to go and do last year. The practice match, he didn't even hesitate. He just went in, got the ball and handed it out. So, yeah, it's stuff like that, guys like that these guys follow and they watch and they learn off that's going to benefit us.
Well, that's great, mate. That's really good. It's it's good. It's just exciting, you know what I mean? Obviously nothing's happened, and Bully just mentioned before, it should be nearly round 5 now, so it's a bit difficult like that. But as long as we keep the momentum up and keep sticking together and see how we go and look after each other, I think when we get on the park, that you can hopefully keep that the momentum up, which will start at the end of the year. And no thanks to you guys. And like you said, Thwaites, just mate, the stuff he's been. No one knows what he's done behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be noted. He doesn't want to be mentioned, but he's done an absolutely brilliant job over the last, not only just this year or last year, probably the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? He's a great bloke, mate. He's good. He's a really good.
Yeah, he
is.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Ads, and I'm also looking forward to catching up with the big steamboat, Rick. It'd be great to see him down the club and around the club. And yeah, thanks very much for your time tonight. And
no worries, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll touch base with you later on in the year.
No worries.
Good on you, Ads. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Ads.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks a lot.
Hey, boys, just to also at the start of the segment, you would have seen the pies there, BT. I just wanted to mention last week we had Ronald Barassi on there, and that was 1975 when North Melbourne won their first ever premiership against Hawthorn. I want to tell you a story. I heard a podcast when I was flying back from this airline called Virgin. You heard of Virgin Airlines?
Yeah, I've heard.
You might have. Some of the younger viewers might know them, but they used to be an airline in Australia. Anyway, I was flying back from the Gold Coast from seeing my daughter, and there was a podcast on there about North Melbourne. I thought, I've got to listen to this. Anyway, did you know in 1974, the North Melbourne players threw a massive party after they lost the grand final to Richmond? They got absolutely thumped. They thought it was the biggest thing since sliced bread to become runners-up. They all had a massive party with the supporters, and guess what? There was only one person that didn't go, and that was Ronald Barassi. The legend is that he stormed into the room, grabbed the microphone, and absolutely abused all of them, telling them that, celebrating second prize isn't good enough. And he really got up and of course, they come out the year after and won the premiership.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Because, the Heights have had a couple of runners up a few times, and we've had some massive parties.
Yeah, we have indeed. Yeah,
so, we just didn't go on to win one after that. So yeah,
and
take something out of that.
And also going with that, I remember in the obviously the bad old days, not knowing any better, that a loss was still a celebration. Unfortunately, it wasn't until later in life that I went to a club called South Montana when we lost our first game. I was in the rooms. I was like, "Come on, boys, we're ready to party and have a bit of a joke." And fan income, you could hear a pin drop. I learnt the lesson about what it was like to lose a game and how much it hurt. And I hadn't experienced that before. It was terrible feeling.
Well, the Heights were the best losers ever.
They certainly were.
We lost one or draw. It didn't really matter what the result was. It was just afterwards, you know what I mean? We were the best at it.
We were indeed. We were the best at losing there for a while.
Flags of being the best losers.
Yeah,
mate, fair income.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's exactly right. Boys, are we going to move on to the? Are we going to move on to the Demon Tail? We're going to get a past player on
Demon Tail. But there's something I failed to mention. Yep. Something was brought up to my attention last week, which I wasn't sort of aware of, but apparently, allegedly, I say, you know what I mean, a lot. So someone counted on last week, and I've been given a bit of stick during the week, and I didn't realise. I went home and watched the show afterwards, and I hate seeing my head on telly because, you know, the camera puts about 50 kilos on. I've got a good head for radio, so I watched it, and I did realise that I did say it. So I thought, well, lay down the challenge. If you're not doing anything tomorrow, and you're on the couch tonight, you're having a few beers, and you're homeschooling, well, have a sleep in tomorrow, you know, and we'll have a anti-kid day, whatever they have. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm not teaching them. Next time you hear me say that, you know what I mean? Have a drink and get back to me. See if you're not blind drunk by about 9 o'clock, okay? So that's a little drinking game for you, just to amuse us all.
And Slobber Fanning's just put that straight up as a message. I know what you mean.
Exactly.
He's loving
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I love
well,
it. Good
I hope he's up late enough tonight. He was been by about 6:30 last night. So
he would be wrapped up on the couch with his dog.
Slobber band at one of them, will you?
Slob has someone in his life, and that's his dog. Every time I see on Facebook is a photo of Slob's dog. He'd be on the couch with his dog.
Yeah, or maybe his dog could have a skull. You know what I mean?
A skull. Exactly. A few Cheerios. Happy birthday, Stir, for yesterday. I saw that on Facebook. Happy anniversary to Buzz. 15 years, I think. I saw that on Facebook. Buzz.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah,
nice.
Buzz, if you're listening or you're allowed to listen tonight.
Oh, he's a dead man now, but anyway, that's fine.
I love the Buzz.
I actually went and seen the Stir yesterday.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, I kept socially distant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been taught him, and I've been given a few cooking tips and stuff like that.
Yep,
So,
yep.
And I thought, you know what? I know there's social distancing. I know we shouldn't be doing this, but no man from the footy club should ever have to sit in his own shed by himself on his birthday. So I snuck around there. I took my Stanley, about 1.5. We got a little bit about 1.3 even now in the end because we're getting at a few. So, yeah, happy birthday, Stu. It was a good night. Thanks very much.
That's great. Yep. And I think it was happy birthday, Mark Blake, too. Remember Mark Blake?
Yeah, I remember.
It was his birthday last week.
Absolutely.
If anyone's got any birthdays this week or any Cheerios or anything coming up, any events, just send us a message and we'll announce it.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout out for sure.
We'll give you a
know
shout
what I mean? Especially in these times. Everyone needs a bit of a shout out
exactly
and
right.
A bit of a pat in the back and a birthday wish. So,
yeah. So we've got the wheel out.
Here we
There's
go.
some new names on there this week. It should be Badger. Are you listening? Badger on there tonight. We're going to give it a spin.
Iron Mike, really?
Iron Mike's on there.
That's got more. Let's get more names every week.
More names. Richo. Remember Richo? He's on there.
Which Richo?
Richo, the seconds, the reserve, little Richo.
The little bloke that me and John Anthony dropped off the stretcher one day. We couldn't get him through the gate, and he sort of had a hamstring, and we hit the gate, and he dropped off, and he abused the living out of us, you know what I mean? And then anyway, miraculously, 5 minutes later, he ran back on. So obviously didn't affect him too much. So Richo's on there.
Freddie Fanning's on there tonight. Freddie, BJS Insurance, we want you on board.
We do.
To sponsor a show.
We do.
Yeah, you might even get a spin. You might even get on the wheel tonight.
It was better than him.
Who was better than Freddie Fanning? In the ruck, he was...
Well, he couldn't find anyone better than him.
But I'll tell you this, Freddie Fanning was the best tap ruckman I've seen down the heights. Yeah,
right,
he was very, very good.
That's
very, very good.
What do you reckon? We'll give this a spin.
We'll give it a spin. Let's give it a spin and we'll see who comes up. Get nervous, boys. Here we go. Here we go.
Am I making the noise?
You can make the noise. Go.
I'm running out of puff.
Red 56.
Red 56. Who's won the raffle ticket? Not anyone from the opposition.
But before we go on, are we really going to ring this bloke? How long's this call going to be? How long's this call going to be?
Wind him up. Hey? He's got 10 minutes.
Oh, how long's this call going to be?
It's be forever.
Oh.
And it'd be all about him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Is he there?
It was there, this person. Do we really have to ring him?
Who's this?
Ravi.
Who? We got the wrong number. It's supposed to be Steve Fanning. Hey?
Is this guy ringing?
What are you blokes up to?
Are you answering your phone?
Hello?
Hey, do you want to...
Can you hear me or what?
How is this guy going? How's this guy going? Come on.
That's fantastic. You there, mate?
Yeah, hello?
Oh, got him. Travis.
Yes, Travis Coote.
Travis Coote. You won't believe this, but you have come up on the wheel.
What are the odds?
Working well, boys.
Oh,
You like it?
sensational. How you been, all right?
Yeah, good boys. You look pretty good on camera. Very surprised, Toddy.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers.
Look, I was going to abandon this call because this bloke, look, he walks with a real swagger. He's, but you know what? Because he can.
Yeah, he could.
He's done everything. You name it, this bloke has done it. And if you're not seeing the visual we're seeing of you, and that's how you look when you played, mate. Exactly like that.
Except the handball thing was a bit. I'm not sure whether you did that. You know what I mean? and there's no ball there, so you obviously weren't actually handballing to anyone. But anyway, that's fine. And that's the truth.
I'm down in Ocean Grove now. I'm trying to look tough.
Oh, good stuff.
So there's a few lies going around Ocean Grove. How good we were?
Definitely a few lies going around.
Now, before we start, Travis, we're going to ask you some questions. Now, I want to just point this out. When we ask you a question like who's the best player you've seen, you can't answer yourself. You can't say Travis Coote, all right? You have to think of someone else.
Are you talking Chelsea Heights or are we talking...
We're talking Chelsea Heights. Anyway, I'll get the chef to ask you a question.
I thought your first question. Hey, it's a GR here. You know what I mean?
How many of those wines you had, Toddy?
I've had four massive gins, and that's my second bottle. But it's red light, so it's okay. You know what I mean? There's no carbs.
Yeah.
So what do we got for you?
I thought Adam was pretty good as well.
Yeah, no, he's good. He was great.
Yeah.
Right, mate, I've got one question for you, and I'll make it simple. Tell us a little about yourself. God,
how long is this going to go for?
Who brought this question up? Years at the club, life outside the club, and what do you do for a crust?
I tell you what.
I'll wind you up.
You asked me these questions, but because of Chelsea Heights, I don't remember much.
That's why we're asking you.
Mate, I was a good straight Paran boy when I first started, and I was playing seniors there in '94, and they folded due to the AFL taking over the VFA, and I trained at a few places. '95 pre-season, I think I was at Box Hill and Mitcham and Ormond. I was shopping myself around, and then it got to about a week out from the first game, and I still had nowhere to play. I wasn't really impressed with any of them. So, and then young Brett DeBono said,
Fluffy.
I was having a drink with him, and he goes to me, "Come and play at Chelsea Heights." And I thought to myself, where the fuck's Chelsea Heights? and he said he bosses. I'm a painter, and he bosses Bear Bum, and he's the friggin' treasurer there or something. And he said he's made me play there because he said I wouldn't have a job if I didn't play there. So yeah, I always thought, I might as well. I've got nowhere else to play. I'll go down with Sabono and see what they're all about. And then I walked in. The first bloke I met was Nut.
And you didn't walk out.
Oh, mate, I thought, what the fuck have I walked into here? So, then I met JJ and I met Grant and Pup and sort of sat down with them and had a bit of a chat. And then I thought, oh, mate, I've got nowhere else to go. I'll sign up. And then I remember Jimmy running a Friday night session because I think the first game was a Sunday that year because they were playing a Sunday game for some reason. And he ran a Friday night session so everyone could meet me the first day. And then on Sunday, I played the first game with us. So I suppose it was really good timing and the club was ready to sort of get a few blokes from the outside in. And yeah, we won our first flag ever. It was awesome. So, from then on, I suppose the next few years just played, with a few really great footballers like footy and yeah, well, the one thing I did train with Juddy at Melbourne for a little bit, and he was great with me. I ended up living with Juddy for a little bit. 98, I left to play a bit of footy with my brother. I'd never played footy with my brother before, and so he sort of convinced me to leave Chelsea Heights in 98. I went there for a year, but I was always coming back. I did love Chelsea Heights. It was a great club, and there was a few flogs around early days, but I thought back at it, I think everyone was just pretty young and pretty bravo and macho and kind of sort of stamped their authority a little bit. But I did love the club from the first time I got there. It was an awesome club, really relaxed, and everyone just loved having a good time. So Yeah, and then sort of 2000, I think, was a turning point for the club. They sort of started to look outside locals and trying to get, some really good talent in just to take that next step to First Division. And it was a pretty pivotal time for me as well. I met sort of the blokes like Geno and Nick Quinn and things like that, which, had a pretty profound effect on my life, because I sort of met Bianca through them, and she's now sort of married with 2 kids and things like that. So, I look back at Chelsea Oaks for that, and that was a pretty important time in my life. So we got some really good players, and then, early 2000s, sort of mid-2000s, we were a bloody strong club, and we're really, really unlucky sort of not to win one. Probably the most disheartening sort of loss was that ball at one point in the prelim. I thought we were easily the best team that year, and we had some awesome players going around. So, so then sort of 2004 went overseas. I missed a year that year. I went over and lived over in Ireland for a year. Come back 2005. Probably, Hagen was awesome as a coach, but, Ryan Flack, probably one of the best players I've ever played footy with. He made me captain, which was a really proud moment for me. I didn't really think about captain material, but he obviously saw something in there that I didn't. And the next, 3 or 4 years before I retired at 35, that was really enjoyable. Ash come across. He's one of my best mates. A lot of, OG, Steve, Dave Turner, a lot of good blokes I met throughout the years come across and played, and it was a really enjoyable time. So, yeah.
And what do you do for Cross now, Trav?
2005, I started an optical wholesale business. I sort of import a lot of optical products from Europe and Asia, and I deal with optometrists.
Yep.
Sort of selling a lot of products, and been doing that since 2005, and still doing that today, yeah.
Oh, excellent. No, you answered that really well. Thanks for that. And also, I just wanted to ask you about, I follow you on social media. You're very funny. You like getting dressed up, and you like having a good laugh. How's self-isolation been so far? And tell us what you've been up to since then.
Self-isolation, well, it's fair to say probably I've got a platinum membership at Dan Murphy's.
And we all.
And the fact is, when I first came to Chelsea in 95, I didn't really drink. I wasn't a drinker.
I call bullshit.
Seriously. And by the end of 95, I was an alcoholic. So,
well, you took your time.
No, but pretty much just been homeschooling. Trying to keep fit. But yeah, no, self-isolation, because my industry pretty much closed down. We haven't, there's a lot of optometrists that have closed their doors for the time being, just because they can't really see anything, because they've got to get up and close. And the last thing they want to do is buy products. So, yeah, I've just been working maybe an hour or two a day. And,
that's big for you. Hey?
Sorry?
That's big for you, an hour or two a day.
Yeah, no, well, mate, I'm a hard worker. People don't know that. But,
yeah, no one does.
No, that's right. So, fair enough. But, no, I've been trying to keep busy and just with the kids mainly. So, and, yeah, there's the young fella who's 8. He's been a bit of hard work homeschooling, but I could definitely never be a teacher. I know that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Right, mate. Look, we've got the Demon Tail quiz coming up next week. You ready for it or what?
Yeah. Go for it.
It's all about honesty, and if it's not honesty,
I'm going to hit you up, and again, you can't answer yourself. All right?
Yeah. So it's about honesty, and if you can't be honest, bullshit. Okay.
Okay. Play that you'd like to be in the trenches with at war.
Oh, I had a good think about the old type of players and people. You think about trenches, you think tough, and they eat their own, and I thought everyone's tougher than me. So it's very hard to sort of compare. But I thought Hagen, Footy, I thought Burnsy, Smart, D-Mac. They're the ones that come to mind. They're all the players I play with. It's just used to.
And I wouldn't like to meet them in a dark alley.
No, they used to beast was that he just, I saw Paul one day eat someone's ear. I've seen Hagen kill about 6 blokes. So, but if I look at it, I'd have to say Hagen. He was a tough man, and probably the toughest bloke I've ever played with.
It's a fair call. It's a fair crew, that crew, isn't it? You know what I mean? And there's been some tough guys at the Heights, trust me. And none tougher than...
I had a good thing about it. Those 4 or 5 come to mind, and I thought it's really hard to split them.
Yeah, and they're staunch guys. They're like guys who look after, not just tough guys, but guys who look after you, you know what I mean? So, next one, mate. Worst roommate and a footy trip on why. This time you can actually answer yourself.
We're assuming you're room by yourself.
Well, I cannot remember the last footy trip I went on where I needed a room. This is fair income. I did drop my bag at the last footy trip, and then 3 days later went and picked it up without going in there. So it's very hard to say because, I'm not... It's never been... a single room's never been really one for me, but... I look back, and I don't know if you guys remember this guy, but it was Brett Whittingham. Do you remember him?
Goodingham? Oh,
no,
yeah.
Brett Whittingham.
Oh, Whittingham, no.
Whittingham, I think he was saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they called him Shit Whittingham. This is going back, I'm talking 96 maybe. His party trick on a footy trip was just shit in everyone's drawers.
Oh, gosh.
Hence his name, Shit Whittingham. And I went to a party with him once, and he emptied the Milo tin of the person's party. He sat in the bottom of it and put all the Milo back in. So, in 6 or 7 weeks when they got through their Milo, they kind of nice surprise at the bottom of their Milo. So, yeah.
He's not still playing the Heights.
If you ask Giggles about the Gold Coast footy trip, when he sat on Giggles' drawer and then Giggles found shit in his clothes and everything like that, he was probably the worst I've done with.
But Badgers has put on here the Phantom Shitter, and Brattle Pops is also, he remembers that story as well. So we've had a couple of comments there from
He's probably the bloke who did my house, mine Slob's house the last couple of years, getting revenge on the club.
Yeah, Chip Whittingham, I'm still friends with him on Facebook. And
don't send a friend request to me, please. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, next question, GR. Go for it.
Well, you can't answer yourself for this one. So who was the better player in the Coote family, Travis or Glenn?
You can't answer yourself.
It's a trick question.
Glenn was a pretty good player. He was a good mark. He had a pretty good footy IQ, but he couldn't kick the shit.
Do you reckon his temper might have held him back in a few ways?
I don't know, because that was my strength kicking, so I don't reckon I'll let him kick when he was a kid. So, but no, he actually played on me one day, and when he was playing for South Yarra. And he did pretty well. I think I'll still kick 4 on him.
Yeah, he just touched him up anyway.
Yeah, but he's a lot better player than a lot of people think, but no, I definitely have to say myself.
Very diplomatic there, Trav. Well done.
Yeah.
Best player you ever seen?
At the Heights?
Yeah, let's go the Heights. No one cares about any other team, do they?
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously.
I think Crowe just. Crowe could have 30 touches off a half back, which I saw him do. Then he can go into the middle and just fucking smash people, and then go to full forward and kick 10 goals. I don't think I've seen too many other blokes be able to do that.
What about the day? Did he kick 10 or 9 at St Kilda City?
10 straight at St Kilda City.
Mate, I seriously used to stalk him before stalking was a thing, you know what I mean? And he used to think I was a weirdo, but I loved him. And that time, mate, he just killed it, St Kilda City. And if you're going to be on a big show, and if you're going to kick 10, and you do it at St Kilda City, you know what I mean? So,
well, the story behind that is that he was playing half-back most of that year, and then he went on the ball a few times. And that day, that was the first day he played at full forward for the year and kicked 10 straight.
Yeah, gun. I remember it well. He was
he was a freak. He was a freak, and obviously he played a lot of AFL footy as well. But he was just an unbelievable footballer. And probably followed very closely in my eyes by probably Ash and Flacky. Flucky, I really respect, and he's a fantastic footballer, and so is Ash, obviously, one of my best mates. And yeah, but those probably three. But I reckon Crowe's just talent-wise is just in front of him.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Good answer.
Yep. Player who would represent the Heights at karaoke?
Look out a two for me. Buckwheat.
Yeah.
or Fitchy.
Fitch, yeah. It's
I reckon Buckwheat's got more range. Maybe we'll do a few more songs, but Fitchy's really refined to about 3 songs.
Yeah, well,
he's an entertainer.
He's nailed the Killers. You know what I mean? He's nailed the Killers.
Yeah.
And like I said, Buckwheat's probably got a bit more of a range. He throws him in a bit of Billy Joel and a few other things. So
yeah, I think Buckwheat, we didn't start the fire, gets him over the line.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Anyone who can sing that song word by word without looking at the words is pretty good.
Absolutely. Now, another question, and you had a really good relationship with this guy, the puppet. It's legendary how you guys used to drive each other mad. Did you ever get a spray for him? Yeah. What was the best one?
Well, all the sprays usually were after the game.
Yeah. Were you on a table? Were you on a table with a cigarette in your gob and a no smoking sign right next to it? I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
There was one which I reckon I didn't deserve. Was back in the day. We played Dubston at Dubston, and we were easily the better team. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we won or lost. We could have been won, but I think we lost. And we were miles better. And we got in the room after the game, and I'd just come back from injury, and mate, he cordoned off the doors, closed it all up, and I thought, what's going on here? And he just, he eyeballed about 3 or 4 blokes and just gave it to him, and I was one of them. And I'm thinking, I thought I played okay. But no, he gave it to me. He gave it to me that day, and said, "You got to start training harder." And I'm like, okay, fair enough. So no, but he gave some good ones out, but he was, and just his sweat dripping on you at the same time. No, he's a good man, pup.
So the Fluffy de Bono, you said he was a good mate of yours. He's down Kilcunda way, isn't he?
Inverloch?
Inverloch, that's it, Inverloch.
A couple of months ago, I was up in the shopping centre.
So we love the Fluff. He'd be on his leather couch tonight with his cigar and his dressing gown on, his glass of red.
A little bit of brandy.
A little bit of brandy. He'd have a little pinky out as he's drinking it as well.
And he's smoking
jacket. This is a question for him.
Soul glow haircut.
That's the one. Hasn't changed in 30 years, you know what I mean?
I hope he's listening. Are you listening, Fluff? Send us a message if you are. I want to ask you this question because I've been told that the Paran BNF, who got the most votes? So who was the better player between Fluffy de Bono and Travis Coote?
Well, I never played with Fluff at Fran.
Oh, okay.
He was in the thirds. I was in the seniors. I'll leave it at that.
I love the swagger. I love the swagger. It never ends. Never ends.
No, I was. He was playing. He was playing thirds. I was playing seniors, but my Glennie was playing with my brother, and that's how we sort of got together and met and become good mates. And but yeah, I don't think we ever played in the same team.
Okay.
Yeah,
Righto. Any pre-game or post-game hoodoos or superstitions? What did you get up to? What were you on?
Yeah, not really. I was a bit of a dick, as you know.
Really?
Try to have fun, but I did wear the same Superman jocks for about 2 years.
Yeah, I did that as well. As soon as you got injured, they went in the bin.
Yeah, and but no, I was sort of more got to the game, tried to crack a few jokes. More trying to. I was more interested in what we were doing after the game. Sorry. So, I wasn't. I've never been a superstitious type when it comes to footy.
Well, Flacky told us a good story last week when you won the game off your own boot. Walked in the club, got the ice pack, and put it on your foot, and said, thanks very much.
Yeah.
It feels better. So, I find that hard to believe, actually. You know what I mean? Look, Flacky might have taken a bit of artistic license in that. You know what I mean? But apparently, it's true.
There is a story going around too that I found a comb before one game.
Yeah.
And after I kicked the first goal, I took the comb out of the sock and brushed my hair with it.
That's not as good as Smitty with the. He had the carrot down his sock, wasn't it? At training,
I've
didn't he?
seen Smitty with a massive carrot.
Carrot down his sock.
Half a bit of a rack of lamb in his sock doing laps one day. Absolute true story. Absolute true story. Like God strike me dead. That fake God.
We've come to the bit of the show where we want to get a demon toe out of. So we want you to back the truck up. We want you to tip the dirt over some previous players and give us something. What have you got? Come on.
I don't like tipping the dirt over people.
Just say allegedly. Allegedly first, and it covers everything.
I do love the '95 grand final premiership story. When we were in the rooms after the grand finals, probably 4 a.m. And the bloke in charge was Benny Bradley. He fell asleep. He fell asleep on the table. And so the boys, I'm not mentioning any names, I think it was Cosby and Gimbala.
Yeah.
They started smoking chongers in the freaking back out the back. And there was all sorts of shit going on. And so I think it was me and Nut decided to start throwing stuff at the ceiling fan. This was stuff to do and just piss and stupid. And I remember after about 10 minutes, the thing swung off the ceiling fan, hit Benny Bradley in the head. He woke up and thought, what the fuck, it's 5 in the morning. You blokes get out of here. So that was a pretty funny one. But I know there's a lot of stories I could tell, but I'm not real keen to throw anyone under the bus. But, another good one is me and Johnny Boulder had a bet one Thursday night, having a few beers after training. And he said to me, we were playing East Brighton. As you know, East Brighton's twos was just putrid. Their ones were pretty good. And he was playing the twos, I was playing the ones. And he goes, I bet I'll kick more goals than you on Saturday. And I said, let's have a bet. And he goes, okay, for every goal that is the difference between ours, you've got to scull a pop. I said, I'm in. I got to the game on Saturday morning against East Brighton. He's playing in twos. It's pissing down rain. I go, how's Bob going? And they go, he kicked 8 already. So you end up kicking 11.
They were putrid.
And I think I kicked 2 or 3, and I was retarded that night. But there's a couple of good ones. But there's a couple of ones I could say, but I'm not going to throw anything under the bus. And there's a couple I could say about our good mate Garrett.
Yeah. Well, there's still legal matters pending, over the years. So you've just got to be a little bit careful. But it's good stories, mate. Really good. So look, what have we got? We got any left? We got any questions?
No. We just wanted to see. The floor's yours, mate. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to say, or you want to give your mum a cheerio, or anyone else you want to connect with anyone?
Say, because back in the day when I was at the high school, I did play up a bit, and I was a bit of a dick. But I just want to thank all the people. I love the club dearly, and all the people that work behind the scenes. I probably never got to thank, and I was probably a bit disrespectful too back in the day because I was a bit of a larrikin. Especially probably Puppet. 95 and 2000 were probably two of the best days of my life. That's true, and it's just mainly due to him. He was the catalyst to all that, and I just want to thank him for that. And just maybe, the great supporters too, like Potty, Slugger, we're ex-players, but great supporters to us, and Jimmy Abe, and obviously Irish and things like that. So, just all those guys behind the scenes who you didn't play, but were just, the catalyst to us having a great time and being successful.
Look, mate, I'll say something on a personal note. When you come down, we all know when you come down, you basically ingratiated yourself into the club. And what you did, you just didn't play for Chelsea Heights. You become Chelsea Heights. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's something that this probably club has power with. When people actually come down here and ingratiate themselves into the club, it becomes their family, and it means a lot. You know what I mean? And you did it with the spades on, mate. You know what I mean? And your personality and the cheekiness, and this is what that club's about. We're not a normal club that way. We like the characters. We like, everyone's on left field or whatever kind of stuff, and that's what we appreciate. So, and mate, just personal, hope to see you soon. Say hello to the family, and I have to catch up soon, mate. And thanks for the interview. It's been great.
Well, yeah. Well, one thing I will say that when I first come down, I knew a lot of guys like places like EDF and things like that, who didn't have any respect for Chelsea Heights. But after a while, there was a lot of those blokes who wanted to come to the club, did come to the club, and those blokes still say to me that Chelsea Heights is one of the best clubs they've ever played at.
It's awesome.
There's something. Yeah.
And I was going to say to you, Trav, too, one of the things I look forward to in a past players' days is seeing your smiling face. You make my day whenever I know I'm going to get a joke out of you. I'll laugh. It's just great. You've got that infectious smile and persona about you, which I've always enjoyed.
Cheers, mate.
Yep.
Club legend. Good on you, Trav. Thanks very much, mate. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for that.
No, appreciate it, boys. Lovely being on.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. See ya,
mate.
Just a reminder, guys, pumpkin blinds and pumpkin ramps. Look, get amongst it. You need new blinds. You want to upgrade your blinds. Think about your heating and cooling costs at the moment. If you don't have blinds, it's straight out the window. So get onto Pumpkin and organise some blinds, whether you're upgrading or building, or you want new blinds, or you're after that special gift for a young one, or you want to make your child the king of the street. Get a skate room.
He's a good man to deal with.
He's a good man to deal with.
And if you want to go and deal with him, pop around his house. He'll offer you a beer. He'll offer you whatever he's got. He'll have a chat. He'll look after you. He's a funny bugger. I've known him for a few years now. And he's a really good bloke.
And one good thing I know about Pumpkin too is he sponsors and he tips in a lot of money to footy clubs in the area. He really supports the local, and we really appreciate that. And look, if anyone ever asks me, they need blinds, I would recommend him highly. So get on to him, 0408 000 974. And would also like to thank KLM Spatial. So look, if you're thinking about subdividing like in these difficult times at the moment, or you're building a new property, get onto them. They do a lot, from start to finish. Everything you can think of, they do it. The contract management, changing the titles.
Just see Flacky.
Yeah, see Flacky.
See him, tell you what you need, and he'll work it out for you.
Yeah, work it out for you.
Takes all the hassles out of everything. Just go and see Ryan, tell him what you need, and done.
Yeah, and done.
It's a major hassle in your life. You won't have to worry about anything else.
And whether it's a phone call tonight or our past players' day or something, just go up and approach him and ask him some questions, and he'll help you out. Same with Pumpkin. Same deal. So, get amongst it.
What do we got next, Grantley?
We're up to the joke of the week. So I'm actually very nervous.
I'm a little
Should
bit
I be nervous?
He rang me before, and he's rang me 13 times, this guy, about the Jane. I had to put some parameters in, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's told me a couple, and I said, that's probably not appropriate, Dave, you know what I mean? And he's rang me 35 times. So I reckon about 5:30, he goes, what are you doing now? So I'm just having a quick gin, the car. He goes, I might have one soon. So who knows? I will just apologise on behalf of everyone, in case this segment doesn't go to plan. He promised me a good, clean joke that I would piss myself laughing and clean. I don't really believe that 100%, you know what I mean? So we don't have a buzzer, so if you're going to get offended, you're offended easily, maybe it's time to go make a cup of tea.
Hello.
David Lee.
Yeah, how you going?
Good, mate. What's happening?
I've just been listening, mate. It's been very entertaining. I've just been listening to the show, and I thought I'd better turn it off before I got a belt. But that's about it. I've been listening to you guys and absolutely loving it.
You're loving it? Good on you, mate. Now, we've got the joke of the week, and like I said, I've had to rein you in a little bit with your like I said, the parameters and your boundaries, you know what I mean? But a couple of questions.
You about 98% of my jokes.
I reckon 99, Dave, but anyway. So the first thing I want to ask you, how did you become involved in the Heights? Like, I know the story, but tell the viewers, how did you roll up one day? And I'll tell my side of you tell your side, and I'll tell the truth.
Okay. Well, we moved into the area in 2003. I've been a gypsy. And I think 2010... Declan wanted to play cricket. They played footy at Chelsea YCW, but they didn't do cricket. Well, they did, but he went down there to Chelsea Heights, and we met up. So we started playing cricket, and that's how I sort of walked in the door. And used to play on Friday nights, was good. So after work, I'd go down and have a couple of beers, and I walked in the first time, and
I remember saying, how the fuck's the bloke get a beer? And it was you and Jimmy, I believe, and I didn't know either from Jonah. And, so they started playing cricket, and then years later, Declan ended up playing seconds and seniors there, and hopefully Calvin and Nicholas will later on. So that's about it. It was local, and it was near home and very convenient, and I did notice very friendly, very family-orientated place, and you get a beer, and how good's the grandstand and how good's the ground, especially after they get her up. And it was just all wins as far as I was concerned, so that was about it, mate.
Well, okay, that's fine, and that's pretty true. I'll tell you my side of the story.
Yeah.
I thought it was at cricket. Me, Jimmy and Slug having a beer and the stools out the front. And this little portly, shorter-statured gentleman comes up to me and looks at me and goes, how the can a man get a drink around here? Or where can a man get a fucking drink around here? Looking at me.
And that would have warmed your heart.
Oh, yeah. It was sort of. It was a bit touchy first. And I looked at Jimmy and I looked at Slug and I thought, who's this? And I won't repeat what I can say because we get kicked off air. I thought, who's this? You know what I mean? I said, behind me, what are you, blind? You know what I mean? Anyway, Dave's got a beer coming. He goes, and I'm Dave. And he's done that to everyone he's met. And I'm lucky enough, and I don't know what it is now, how many years it's been now, I can't count Dave as a really good mate of mine and a lovely family. So it was... It wasn't the greatest of meetings, you know what I mean? It could have turned either way, but I'm glad he sort of rolled up and said that, and it's just a typical Chelsea Heights thing to say something like that. Now, David...
And what about when your missus said last drinks, and I said, who's this, the fun police? Because I didn't know Nicole either. It was all right.
So he's upset both of us in, I don't know, 25 minutes or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I took the foot out of one and put the other foot in the other. It was
the only reason
unbelievable.
out in your mouth is to change feet.
Yeah.
So, David, you promised me a semi-clean joke. I've never heard one before off you. You told me I haven't heard and thing. I said, go for your life. And we don't have a but. Just go for it, mate. I've got complete faith in you.
Righto, you ready? There's a wealthy 60-year-old bloke, and he works on the stock exchange in London. And he's got an 18-year-old wife. She's a cracker. And he's having trouble keeping up with her, if you know what I mean. And he lives on the 22nd floor. He's got a nice apartment, up the top floor. Anyway, he's at work, and I wonder what she's doing. So he rings home, and it rings out. And he's a very jealous guy. And he rings again 10 minutes later, and it rings out. And says, fuck, she's playing up for sure. So he got the train to work. So he borrowed a car off a mate at work, and he's got the car, and he's going at 100 mile an hour, gets home. And he's a bit overweight like me, and he has a heart condition, and his heart's pumping. And he gets to his apartment. He hasn't got a key for the door because he didn't take his car keys. So he kicks the door in, gets to the lift, and the lift's down. Jesus. So he lives on the 22nd floor. So he's up the stairs, and he gets to the 11th, and he's huffing and puffing. His heart's screaming. And he has a rest, and up to the 22nd floor anyway. Gets out his front door, kicks the door in, runs inside. Where is the bastard? Someone's here. I know there is. And runs in the lounge room. No one there. No one in the kitchen. And he goes, looks in the bedroom, and his wife's putting the blouse on. He said, "I'm fucking killing him." And he looks out over the balcony, and there's a fellow running towards his car, pulling his shirt on and pulling his pants up. So he grabs the fridge off the balcony, and he throws it 22 floors straight down, hits the bloke on top of the head, kills him outright. Has a heart attack, drops dead himself. Anyway, he comes to at the pearly gates, and St. Peter comes out. And he goes, "Oh," he said, "we've got a Mr. Green here." And he said, "Yes, I'm Mr. Green." And he says, "Well, what happened to you?" He said, "Well, I was late for work. I'd had a bit of a naughty with my wife, and I was late for work, and I was running to the car, and next thing I get hit on the head, and here I am, dead." He said, "Right." He said, "That's been tardy, been late. You're staying here." And he said, "Now, is there a Mr. Brown here?" And he said, "Yes, I'm Mr. Brown." He says, "Well, I'm the bloke." He said, I had the heart attack." He said, I threw the fridge out the window and hit the bloke on the head." He said, "Well, that's jealousy." He said, "Jealousy, you're not going anywhere, you're staying too." He said, "Is there a Mr. White here?" And the other bloke says, "Yes." He said, "Well, what are you here for?" He said, "Well, you wouldn't believe it, but I was just sitting in the fridge minding my own business." There you go.
Nice, Dave. Nice. I know it was hard. I understand it was really hard for you because it's not your forte, clean jokes. But I think you've done really well on that first one. So, good on you, mate. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Well, I appreciate that, David. I hope to catch up with you very soon for a beer, mate. No worries. Appreciate it. Good on you. And if anyone else has got a... Sorry, mate, I'd button in.
No.
If anyone else has got
keep up the good work, boys.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Anyone else got a good joke or jokes? send them in, and we'll do it. And we've got a prize. We're going to have a couple of prizes next week, so it'll be interesting to see. Thanks, mate. Good on you, Dave.
You know what I mean?
Know what I mean? I don't reckon I've said it tonight.
You haven't, actually.
Oh, no.
You haven't
Not
said
even
it at all.
paranoid,
No,
I just
that's
haven't
right.
said
All right. Well, we've got to the segment I created last week called the Best 22. We went through it, and the boys have been hard at it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they've been hard at work.
They're hard at it. They've given us one this week, and apparently there's a few backed up that are coming on their way as well. So they're all getting their heads together, and they're coming up with these teams. I'm going to read you out this side. It is sensational. Thanks to Bear Bum. And you guys need to guess what the relevance is of the players I'm about to go through. So we'll go through it. So in the back line there, we've got Alan Jones. We've got the great Crazy Dave Marsland.
Crazy Dave.
Crazy Days.
The pillowcase bandit.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Okay?
Allegedly.
Sorry, put that in first.
We've got the Bum. Bear Bum in the back pocket. We've got the printer, Graham Harris. We've got Mark Slob Fanning. Supercoach. We've got Steve Scoffer Jeffs. We've got Gary Fielder, Mark Green, and Tommy Sinclair on the other wing. Half forwards, we've got the great man himself, the hairy chef. We've got the great Irish centre forward. We've got the dude, Graham Close. We've got Kevin Canavan at full forward. We've got Peter Kirby in the ruck. We've got the Bobby McKay, Rover Darren Jarman, Dasher. And we've got the Rover, the great man himself, Heidi, Jock McGregor. Interchange, we've got Neville Harkin, Brian Clark, and Big Robin. We couldn't remember his surname.
If you're out there, Robin, and it's you, please let us know. Remember your surname. I really apologise.
And we've got Robbie Wind and his assistants. Can you believe his assistants? Would you get a better assistants than Barry the Baker Carpenter?
The best barman you've ever seen.
I know.
The best.
Yeah,
and
best.
great on tick.
Yeah, and the man himself, Johnny Abbott.
He was going to call in, but he didn't have much to say.
So hopefully someone can come. What have these guys got in common? So we're waiting for everyone to.
Michael, really? You're the expert.
Yeah, come on.
What
have these guys got in common? They all played. They've all been around the heights. They had one thing in common. So hopefully someone will get that. While we're waiting to see if we get an answer for that one, we'll pass on to the hairy chef. He's got a rant this week.
Well, it's actually don't. It's really disappointing. Well, it might change.
Yeah,
but isolation. And trust me, I don't like many people. They shit me to tears. You know what I mean? There's just so many. I just don't like people. Anyone who knows, and they think I'm all angry at them. And I am a little bit to a point. You know what I mean? But I'm actually gone the last week, in the last X amount of weeks in isolation, because I've actually seen some really good people like do some really good things. You know what I mean? I've tried to my own thing, tried a couple of things, and I've got say blokes like Paul Foote ringing me up, and my dad, and people really helping each other. So it's really, I've seen some really shitty things. You know what I mean? But I've actually seen some really good things that people are helping each other in this time of need. So yeah, I know. When I thought the rant, I thought, I've been angry most of my life. I've got heaps to say, but I actually don't. I'm actually wrapped. I found isolation really that some people really come together, look after each other. Whether it's because you miss each other's company or you're not lucky enough to go to the mind you, panic buyers. Fuck. They shit me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought about the other week when there was a woman I was buying toilet paper. There's an old Greek woman come to me and she couldn't buy toilet paper because some idiot 27-year-old who's not going to die of coronaviruses has got 700 packs of toilet paper. Like, I'm thinking, and flour. Oh, what are you making toilet paper? Flour cakes, you know what I mean? Oh, what are you going to do with that, you know what I mean? And just say, they shit me,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And there's a lot. So next week I'll probably get angry. I'll start reading the news and get angry. I'm not going to be political. Just, all you have to be in these times is just be nice to each other and we'll get through it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just, give us another week and I'll have the shits, trust me about that, you know what I mean? Anyway, you know what, no, I'll tell you what I got the shits with. My beer was $39, now it's $50. So I'm not happy with that, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I got. So it's pretty disappointing for my first rant. But
It is indeed.
It is, and I'm a little bit disappointed myself. So you might have to shit can that bloody segment next week. But I'll get angry. Don't you worry about that.
So I want to thank Bearsy in regards to the team that we read out. They were all actually junior coaches. So all these guys mentioned all coach the juniors down at Chelsea Heights. Bearsy did ask, where we got it here? We asked a question here. He wanted to know who would be the captain and coach of the coaches themselves. And his little pun here was, I had Jack Jeffs in the draft copy, but he went missing. Anyone that's still local, boom, boom, I love it.
So
perfect.
Allegedly, a certain person coached the junior team, and they did all right, and then stole their AAA money. Like I said, allegedly.
Allegedly,
you know what I mean?
that's right. Also, we've had a response here from JDR Bricklaying, but Joel. Thanks, Joel. He said he might sponsor a show next week.
Ripper.
Absolutely sensational. Thanks, Joel.
See what I did there? Ripper.
Ripper.
Go.
Yeah.
Hey, professional.
Sensational.
Yeah.
So thanks, Joel.
Good on you, mate.
We really appreciate that.
We'll get Carps in. We should get Carps in as well. I think Carps going to be it. So
Yeah. So
get his view on things, so that'd be really good.
next week, I'd love to hear from Lee Thwaites about the past players, and maybe he can give some bank account details, and the boys can make some. You can give it this year's membership fee and talk about it, and we can all put some money in towards this season. I know the club's doing it tough, and
everyone is. So if we can all do that and help out, we can keep this going, and it just keeps us all connected and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
and I did mention a bully as well at the start of the show. When he did pop in to record his message, I said, is there any chance we can get someone from the leadership group? And he said, well, there's a little bit of a problem there. We actually don't have a leadership group yet. So, look, we'd love to have
a man ahead of his time.
Yeah, you are. We'll get him to nominate someone. We'd love to speak to one of the current players just to see how you guys are going and how you're feeling and what's going on. So that's on our agenda next week as well. So
are we nearly wrapping up?
We're nearly wrapping up. But just quickly, I want to thank again our two sponsors, Pumpkin Blinds and Ramps. Fantastic for you guys to sponsor, and also KLM Spatial. All your property needs, get in touch with them. Or on the past players days, see Flacky and have a chat to him. I'm sure he's going to be here. And I would like to special cheer out to my mum. Hey, Dot, have a great Mother's Day on Sunday.
Nice, Dorothy, a wonderful woman who's very patient. That's probably as best I could describe.
Very well described.
Exactly. I got a couple little wrap-ups. Morning Optical. I went and got my specs done the other day. Specs aren't cheap. Blah, 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 blah. I got a massive bill for getting specs. Mick up there, whose son Ryan used to play here a couple of years ago, he sponsored the club. Had a good chat with him. He goes, mate, I can't charge my mates that much. And went bang and knocked a shitload of money of what could have cost me like close to a lakh a band.
Yeah.
And went bang. So I really appreciate that. I actually worked. I did some work this week. I haven't worked for 6 or 7 weeks. Done nothing except stand around or sit around my underpants. A mate of mine, Macca, who's a friend of a friend, whatever, he gave me, it was actually 3 hours work. It was okay. I did it tough, you know what I mean? But he just rang up one day, goes, can you help me out? So that's about my rant. Everyone started looking after each other. So just I really appreciate those two little gestures of those two people to give us a chop out, you know what I mean? Yeah, thanks very much to Macca. And I suppose that's it, unless we've got anything else to say. I was going to say, happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, the singles, the mums aren't, have been, could have been, haven't, lost, whatever, because your mum is, if you've got a good one, they're the best people in the world. So have a great Mother's Day, and hopefully you get sport rotten and deserve everything you get. So good on to all the ladies and all the mums to be, all the ladies out there. So have a great day. So we'll wrap it up, and I can now confirm that we will be on next week for a third show. Thank you, JDR Bricklaying. That's like the record. JDR Bricklaying. Thank you. Well done, boys. Yeah, well done, boys. Thanks for that. It's like the trifecta. It is a trifecta. So we'll be on for episode 3. So tune in next Thursday. We've got a best 22 already lined up, but if anyone else has got any more, send them in, and we'll just keep going through them. Throw some jokes this way, because I'm getting a couple of prizes up for next week. So perfect. And a bit of feedback. Ring in, give us a couple of questions. Yeah. And there'll be a prize for either the best question, best joke, or best comment of the night. So. Yeah. And we'll spin the wheel for another Demon Tail. We're loving the Demon Tails, aren't we? How good are they? Because it's mate, not my lungs. You got the gases. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks, Major Tom. See you next week. Thanks, Major Tom. Good on you, boys. Thank you. Bye.